Ugh.
What up, gang? We're back off of the most serious serious bonus content of all time. If you're paying for this, thanks, I appreciate it. Also, sorry, but yeah, we're back the same four again, and this time we're gonna talk about an even more controversial topic than which of the Royal Knights has the pass. It is the most influential tier lists of the game's history. So we can rename the tiers to whatever.
It's ban list. We're talking about ban list.
Like whatever. Words are hard, bro. But yeah, what we think of the ban list, we're gonna like sort them into tiers, adjust them. It's not necessarily on like how good they were at like stopping the problem, but that's like a factor. How good it was for the game, whether the tier list was just, whether the ban list was just straight up ass, did nothing, or was like.
So we're using the card to represent. We're using cards to represent the ban list.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, that entire edition of the ban list. Also, I've just noticed the title. We should probably change that.
Yes, it took me like several minutes to change it in the last video.
Ruh-roh.
Ban list tier list goes crazy though.
Oh my god, I can't wait till we're doing tier lists.
Nice.
Like December 2022, Huang Zero's tier list.
Oh, you need to edit this out, by the way. I was getting food.
That's okay. It's off camera. We're tiny squares in this one. Ban list, tier list. We got amazing ban list at the bottom. Bandai actually trolling. And then there's like 3 tiers in between it. I think that's good, right?
Yeah, I think that 3 is okay. 3,
I would
like
say,
B is just like mid. So that's,
yeah, just get rid of
like,
B. Just do amazing B and then Bandai
yeah,
trolling.
I feel like we're just gonna have like fence sitting if we're not careful. We need to get rid of B. It's cool with me.
So
Yeah, mid. Yeah, just call it mid.
mid.
And then get rid of that one.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're
You
just
think we can do it all in good, bad, nothing?
Like good, mid, nothing.
Have there been like
There are. I have a candidate for a mid ban list. I have the one.
Or they tried.
Oh, they tried is so good.
Oh yeah, they tried.
Yeah.
There you go.
Tier 4 is second tier is mid. Third tier is they tried.
Oh yeah, and then just straight up dog shit.
HPD is going in there.
Well,
Yeah.
HPD was like, HPD was the first ban list, so it was like.
It wasn't it? Was it?
It was HPD, and oh, you're forgetting Argo 5.
It's in the same ban list as HPD.
It was the same ban list.
Really? I thought.
Yeah, it is the same as HPD.
It wasn't official, like on the thing.
HPD.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah, no, that's why HPD is there because
yeah, 2021.
The one above it is reinforced. So I guess should we start from the bottom?
Well, the HPD one was first.
Oh, can I raise you this? I think we should start from most recent, not from the oldest.
The reason we have a ban list is because of HPD and Argo 5.
Fair.
So you think we should start with the most oldest? I think we have to start with.
And
the
when
most
did
recent.
MDF?
That was the one after.
Yeah.
All right, so do you want to start from the oldest or we want to start from the newest?
I think the
Do it
newest.
chronological.
No, I think we have to start with the newest because it's context for why your cards
Sure.
got banned.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. All right,
Because
so,
because we go, oh well, yeah, I now know why they hit the Melga promo because they're printing the EX5 stuff. You know what I mean? So the most recent ban list edition, as of the time of this recording, was the ban list edition that arrived for the Western player base, starting effective March 1st, 2024. That will be, that is the most recent official one. So the contents of that ban list contain BT14/002 Bukamon, BT15-102 Apocalymon, EX5-115 Gabumon X, EX5018 Garurumon X, EX5062 Anubismon. So, I think this is an absolute banger ban list. They absolutely nailed it. If they hadn't hit these cards, we would be playing a shell of a format for the rest of time. Like, this was as close as they have gotten to basically scorched earth I've ever seen. It's excellent.
I think it was also very cool because it kind of broke. I mean, it broke new ground on everything. Everyone was like, "Oh, they won't hit it because it's an SR. They won't hit this because it's a secret." And they were like, "No, we're."
It's the first egg.
And they
too.
want to hit an egg as well.
Egg as well. They did all the checklists. They were like SR secret egg.
And it's before
insane.
the set is out.
Yeah,
like,
before the set is out. So I think this is like an amazing ban list.
Yeah.
I think it is the gold standard. I'm glad we all agreed on that one because I know there's going to be ones we don't.
The promo Zubagon one.
Yeah, that was technically January 19th, so that is the second most recent one.
That one is
yes.
weird.
That one is a weird one.
I want to give this one a thumbs up because it is cool that we're getting choice restrict,
Choice
but
restriction, yeah.
I don't think it's as good as actually making the banned cards go away.
I never played any of the games because I think you said it was Vanguard that did choice restriction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was an amazing fucking idea.
I'd say the
Like,
thing
it allows us to still play other decks, whilst like
the only
they
thing
don't completely take a card out.
Yep.
I wouldn't take it into amazing though, just because I disagree with Keenan and Matt being there. I think those took far too long. I think the Zuba Sayo needed to go. Like, it was too fast, too consistent, whatever. I think the other cards got hit as a result of them being kind of worried, and I would have.
But don't those still skip a turn?
Yeah,
Maybe
if
more
you, have,
setup.
if you have all 4 Keenans, the turn skip still happens. The reason the Zubamon was the thing that broke the camel's back is because it's 2 memory per card, not 1 memory per card.
Yeah, so you just needed 2 Sayos and 1 Zubamon, and you have the lock. Whereas Keenan required you to play 4 Keenans, and your opponent to sit there and go, yes, you can have 4 Keenans, and then they do the
It's
lock.
the principle. I think this one is more the principle that like it's like we're getting strike restrictions and we're stopping the turn skip. So I think like it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I just think like if it was just these 2 cards,
It's-
amazing. They just went. Here's
That's
the
the thing,
problem,
like-
getting rid of it.
Even if you got all 4 out, it's literally like he's got Exodia. I mean,
Yeah,
you
like,
can't play the game anymore.
you let that happen. That is like 8 to 12 memory that you let go on the board. Unless you hit. all
Sometimes it
4
can come out.
Me-
Sometimes it can
yeah.
come out of security.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
checking security and losing the game to an infinite Yada lock.
I guess, but at the same time, it's very, very slow.
It's slow, but I think it's more about the principle and introducing
Yeah.
a new style
Yeah,
of ban list.
I think.
I
it
don't
was
think it's
focused.
amazing though. I agree with you on that. I think it's
If it was more
As a
focused,
ban-
I think it would be an amazing ban list. But I think.
Yeah, as a ban list, it's mid. Yeah, but it's more like
I think they were just a little too cautious. Like that.
well, because you know what else?
How
This
does
this
that-
is the reason I wanted to start with the new stuff because in the context of this ban list, people went ballistic when there was no Anubismon on there.
oh yeah, because at the
So
time.
as a ban list, it was a mid ban list, but the important parts of this are huge. Like the
Wait,
fact
was
that
this
they laid it
announced-
out.
This was announced second though, because it was.
I think it was last ever. Yeah,
Because
this
you
was
remember
It was
Pokemon
announced.
Short.
It was announced in the middle of the Japanese national formats, and then released in English 2 weeks later.
Yes, because it was the ban
Came
list
out
came
before
out.
NA Nats.
Yeah, the ban list was out, and people weren't sure if Galaxy Loop was legal for NA Nats, and then
Yes.
they left it very late, and
Yep.
they were like, "No, you cannot cheat in NA Nats." I'm like, "Okay, excellent. We're playing normal Digimon."
Yeah.
So, I think that is part of why it would have to stay in mid. The other thing that's cool about it is that they left everything is like because of the way they wrote the choice restrict stuff, where it's like it's just a table that you can add cards to. It does also have future proofing built in.
Yes.
So really smart. Good job, Bandai.
What's next?
That's as good as mid gets, I think.
Yeah.
The next one after
Is the
that
Gabus?
is the November 17th ban list. It's Gabumon BT2,
And
Gabumon
Scatters.
ST6. I'll just read the thing off again. So the first card is Gabumon ST6/-03, BT2 Gabumon, Gabumon BT2/-69, nice. BT13-012 GeoGreymon, and EX4-019 Mont Galgamon, and lastly BT7-069 nice Eyesmon Scatter Mode. Fun that they're both 69.
Purple got it good.
Wait, were the both of the purple cards in the perfect Apocalymon stack 69? That's
Yeah.
so funny.
As a ban list, I think this was a.
This is a good ban list.
I think.
I think this was a good ban list.
Yeah, I individually I look back on this one as like a thing that saved because if they had done the ban list that we got this month,
14
And
would have
this
been a
ban
different
list-
format.
yeah, if they had taken a Marcus out of the game and Yellow Vaccine still had that card, this format would have sucked. If Mirage lost to Thomas and not a Mock, it would have been a really shitty format with like the best blue deck being Blue Flare.
What do you
I
think, Jeff?
The GeoGrey hit, like overall, it was a good hit. Like Eyesmon, I think did need to go. It was just giving way too much gas. But the GeoGrey hit was, meh.
I think the GeoGrey hit was one of those ones where they showed like we can probably have a lot of faith in them because a lot of us are like Marcus BT12 is the obvious hit. Why would they need to get rid of anything else? And they're like,
Yeah.
no, he can stay. the reason Marcus is so obnoxious is because of this card, and people are so focused in on the combo piece rather than the problem card.
Yeah.
It's the same like philosophy of hitting Anubis instead of hitting Merva. Like Merva's doing the flashy shit, and so is Marcus, but like GeoGrey is the reason you get to do it. So I think like they showed a lot of like genuine understanding as to what like the problem breakpoint was.
I think the same thing can be applied for Eyesmon, because they were like, okay, for every purple deck that is ever relevant is playing scatter mode for its like draw engine. And this was like the new design team then went on to make like EX5, which is weird because then they just made Guru X.
I really think they didn't think we'd play that card.
Yeah, I think they didn't think we would play that card. So like they were like, okay, we're going to ban the purple generic engine because like every purple deck that has ever been good relies on this card, and we want to give purple like other things that they can play instead.
I would have been interested to see if they got rid of the... Well, I guess you just wouldn't have a reason to play the starter deck one. I'd be curious if they didn't hit one of these Gabumons. Like maybe they left the on-deletion.
No, the on-deletion had to go because of Apocaly. It was the reason...
He's the individually more broken one than Apocaly.
Because it was thinking, like, why Apocaly cycled 8, because it was like the on-deletion Gabumon, Scatter Mode, Demi Mary meant that they were cycling 8 cards.
I guess. I was just thinking that like the when attacking one is objectively better than the starter deck one, which clearly seemed to be like a retrain of like, we still want purple Gabu to be able to draw and pitch, but we don't want you to restand, do it again, restand, do it again, pitch.
I can answer this. I can tell you.
Well, that card didn't have once per turn, and they didn't think that purple would be
like, is this like just for Apocaly though?
Well, that's the thing. So I can tell you exactly
it's two separate things, because the starter deck Gabu is because they were like, purple will never restand, so we'll give it like we won't give it once per turn.
If you have the reason they had to hit both of them is like you guys said, like the Malga stuff is important, but the number of discards, the 5 discards, ignoring Demi Marimon, the 5 discards is a really important number for the Apocaly stuff because it was 4 Dark Masters and Psychmon. So when you went 3 Dark Masters from the trash to make a Poc, and then added Piedmon BT2 or whatever the heck it is, and then spat the Psychmon out, it fully set up your Apocaly lock. That was the immediate full combo. So the difference between that one discard was huge.
Okay.
But the Garurumon one non-once per turn thing, I think, is maybe even like the first Gabumon got hit for Melga, the second one got hit for Apocaly.
Which is fair, and then they just had to really double down on killing like the Melga engine.
It was like Melga and Beelstar, because like I think one of the reasons why Beelstar didn't do as well was because like Beelstar was using the starter deck Gabumon to set up its like its options in the trash a lot quicker.
Yeah, it's fair.
I do want one more thing on this one before we move on. This one's really good because this is the best write-ups they ever did for a ban list.
Oh yeah, they finally...
The write-ups are really good in this ban list. They explain like the GeoGrey got hit because of vaccine as well. The Mirage is frustrating because it essentially costs 1. Sorry, the Mach is essentially frustrating because it costs 1. Like they go through everything in like much better detail.
It was also like the unconditional.
It didn't miss
yes.
timing.
It didn't miss timing on the unsuspend.
Yeah, so...
Yeah,
I'm a big fan. They did a good job with this.
It's crazy they did all this and then still printed Apocaly.
Yeah, exactly. So that makes it mid though. That's the problem, is that like even with the context that we have been going backwards, these cards were like people were mad as hell because Patamon didn't get hit, the Bukamon didn't get hit. Like
yeah, it was one
Marcus
of those ones that like
hit.
to the west this list made no sense, but then like looking back on it, it's a fantastic list. But
there's no analog use.
I guess this is like they tried, right? This is like the first like they tried where the statement is very true. Like they tried to fix the game in advance, but like as an actual ban list, it's like, well,
yeah, it was still lacking. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I would like to change my vote. I think I agree with Marcio. I think this was they tried.
Right. What was this?
Just use the scatter mode. Oh wait, no,
it's at the top. We've already put it in amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Damn, fall from grace.
I'll say it was a mid one.
You think it's mid?
It did make a difference though.
It did a lot.
Like it was.
Belphemon died, right? Like that made.
Belphemon's gone. And for that,
I think mid is fine.
It genuinely changed the meta. Like everyone was playing different decks.
It was like a future. Yeah, it was kind of like what the Bukamon ban list wanted. Sorry, this ban list was like the standard up until then, where we were like, oh, they're not gonna hit SRs, they won't hit this, they won't hit that. So that ban list follows that formula of like hitting around the problems. So that's why it's like they tried, because they tried to use like we won't hit SRs, we won't hit this, we won't hit that. But so we'll do a ban list to like stop these decks from like being as powerful. That's why the Gabumons are there, and the GeoGrey and the Mac and stuff.
Yeah, that's a great.
Because it was using that old formula. So then when they started actually banning the problem cards, then we get amazing lists.
Marcio and I did a video when this ban list got released, and I remember complaining that they hadn't hit the SR Patamon, but that was because they didn't used to hit SRs. So Marcio's like right on the money.
Yeah. I think it's a fine. Like it's somewhere between mid and they tried.
Yeah,
I think
it's borderline.
I think we'll be generous to say it's mid. It liberated purple from the clutches of scatter mode. And
it's definitely not as good as choice restriction, though. The precedent on choice restriction is incredible.
Yes, I would love to see choice restriction maybe retool some of these ban lists.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Like, they should really go back to it now.
Well, you know the blue hybrid cards that got revealed from time of recording. The BT17 blue and yellow hybrid stuff got released recently. They can't go on Tommy.
Yeah,
they go on Koji or Yellow Tamer.
Oh yes.
So this is not blue hybrid Tommy
Yellow Tamer.
Yellow.
So it feels like instead of like they're making decisions to make blue hybrid less like Tommy Hime centric, which is probably why he came off the ban list, and that's why the context matters.
Yeah. Next ban list.
So God help us when they print JetSilphy cards. This was also the Unlimit, which.
Yeah.
Oh, this was the Unlimit, right? I mean, we don't need to talk about the Unlimit.
No, I think we do. I think it's important.
Yeah, I think the Unlimit being a separate thing matters.
Or should we talk about them getting banned first? Because I feel like it's really hard to talk about the impact of the unban if you don't talk about why they.
I'd rather just talk about the cards like the ban as opposed to the unban.
We'll talk about the unban after, because I think it's still unprecedented. It's the first time they've ever done it.
And we'll talk about the ban list, so just why they were banned.
So which one was the one before this? This was
so it would be June
decks?
1st. Yeah, June 1st, 2023. So the cards banned in that release were BT3 054 Blossomon, EX2 039 Impmon, P008 Wergarurumon, and P025 Grand Kawagamon.
Every green hit's a good hit. Fuck that color.
This is objectively a good ban list, because I think if they hadn't done this one, people love to talk about like what's the hypothetical strongest Digimon deck of all time. I think a Beelzemon that received no hit to this Impmon with the cards it's getting today is the strongest deck in Digimon.
By far.
I think it's like that, and maybe like Lilith Loop with MDF. I think
with that Impmon, that shit could not be stopped. They were just doing whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
Okay,
can you imagine
with this ban list? My view on this ban list is like a little bit warped because it came out like a week before I had an event. So like they weren't super considerate when releasing this ban list and like the time of the ban list. So say for example, going into a tournament, not having to still play against the BT9 decks, playing against Beals and like plants getting hit a little bit. While it was appreciated, most of my testing went out the window, and it was just like, we still did well at that event, but I literally switched decks. Because the deck that I spent a bunch of time practicing on, I was like, I don't know how to take this deck to an event, I'm going to switch.
Yeah, it was a weird change to, like, it was the week before the event, right?
Yeah, it was like...
Yeah. If you didn't have an event
that weekend,
right?
Yeah, if you didn't have an event, this balance was great. It shot the BT9 decks, it stopped Beelzemon from being tier 0.
Like, it's literally, if you weren't in the UK Mickey Mouse region, then, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, it
was great. Great ban list.
I think there are other things too.
Blossom was also... Sorry to interrupt. No, but Blossom was also sort of like a hit ahead of time, because in BT12, while Blossom was very good at letting you set up quicker Quartzmons, I think the real reason why Blossomon got hit was because of the future support that we got in BT13, primarily Yoshino. Because this card would turn... Yoshino would turn this card into a +1 memory all the time. And I don't think they appreciated just plants being able to do that.
Yeah,
so
it's
the
already
Blossomon
bad enough that it's like Sunflower plays Sunflower, and then it either is reduce the cost, or it's Sunflower plays Sunflower, Digizorp, Bloom checks your chin. It's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty. I mean, any of these Digizorp for nothing cards, like you start to think about like the bug support. Like this card probably could have power crept some of the bugs. Like there are pieces of that archetype
Yeah.
from like.
I mean, like the reason to
with the
play.
wall being suspended now as well. Yeah.
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 So
And
it's
it's
a weird list.
And then like Melga and Grandis was just like, okay, we're done with BT9. They
Oh,
shot Alpha back
dude.
in BT10, and they were like, okay, we're done with BT9 decks.
We had a joke at locals about like how much of the Garurumon stuff is on the ban list, but like how many cards is this? It's 2 Gabumons, Gabumon X, Garurumon X, and Where Garurumon. Like it's unbelievable. Like
There's
no
no-
wonder they banned this card when they knew what they were making in EX5.
They've hit every single part of the line except Melga.
Which goes to like that
Yeah,
shows
just to show you that that's how that deck plays. Is that like Melga
Like,
is the whipped
the
cream
bottom
on
end.
top of the milkshake. Yeah.
yeah, like Melga's bottom end is so insane that like the Metal Garurumons themselves tend to be like whatever.
I think
Yeah.
it was also a very clear message that unsuspending and doing more than one check was not in the game's like future. Like they were making a very hard stance that like you can do multiple checks, but if you go north again, you're getting shot.
They unbanned Jessmon's pieces, so I don't know, brother. It's
We'll talk about it in the net in the.
Yeah.
I feel like
Well,
just
we're gonna
letting
say-
it go sec plus one
Grandis-
is easy.
Wait, what were
Grandis
you gonna
was
say?
the,
Seth was gonna say something. What were you gonna say?
I'll wait for Jessmon.
Oh, okay, you wait for Jessmon. Okay,
and then Grand Quakamon.
the green hater doesn't like Jessmon.
Wait, we haven't put it on the
Yeah, where do we
page.
put this?
Oh, right,
I-
as a ban list.
I
think-
think it's mid.
If
I
it was
I
a
thought
mid-
this is fantastic.
I thought
You
it
think
was
so?
Like that
I'm interested. What? Why?
because of the freaking EX1, sorry, the EX2 Impmon.
Okay, I guess like if you're looking
Because
at,
Obi was running amok everywhere.
yeah, I guess.
But think of how long it took. This was like last minute super glue.
Also, remember we got it just in time before Beals X was playable.
No, wait, no, we didn't.
no.
BT
No,
we
we
had
didn't.
been out.
No, so Japan got the ban list a little bit earlier than us. We got the ban list
Yeah.
like 2 weeks later or something.
Yeah,
And
there
we were
were
basi-
there were like 3 or 4 weeks where Beelzemon was
Yeah.
legit full power.
The store champs, the store that you guys went to, where like what was it? Was it Jester?
No.
Harlequins?
Harlequins?
Yeah,
No,
wait,
no,
how
it
No,
was-
is it
no,
just-
wait, no, wait.
No, it was
Mel-
Jester. It was Jester because the Beelzemon won, right?
Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah.
Beelzemon was full power for a while.
It
They
was
did
like-
not hit that deck. That ban list was at the end of BT12. Like EX4 came out in like 2 weeks.
Oh, I'm
The
tripping.
balance was the balance. Well, BT12. No,
No, they must have hit it before. There's
no. 12 lasted a decent amount of time. We just got the ban list like
Well, no, fellas,
midway into thing.
y'all, we played in the UK. BT12 was late.
Yes.
Oh, we got BT12 delayed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
BT12
we
had
got
been out
less
for
time
a
with
while.
BT12.
BT12 was out for a while, and that deck was at full power for a while, and then up until basically the
It was
end
like
of the
a
BT12
month and a half
format.
delayed for us.
Yeah, and then the what's it called? EX4 came out in the middle of June, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'd honestly repressed that BT12 came late. Shout out to the Irish dude that bought another one of my boxes. Appreciate you. Hope you pulled something good.
Very hype. Hang on, I'm gonna pull the wiki up for that. That just occurred to me that that might be really important.
It's like
Important context.
So,
I think it was like a pretty. I would put it at the top of mid if we're gonna put it in mid. I
Oh,
think it was.
boys.
I think it was an amazing ban list,
But it was so late.
but it was just a little bit
yeah,
late.
yeah.
Y'all, April 2023 was the release date for BT12. They had that deck at full power for almost 2 full months.
Must be nice. Was not us.
Yeah, we got it like a month delayed or whatever.
Yep. The ban list before that is my all-time least favorite ban list.
Oh, the BT8 ban list. Oh no, the
the
BT11.
April Fool's Day joke where they just banned Greymon X.
Oh yeah.
This is my the ban list contains the card BT11-064 Greymon X antibody. This is the worst ban list in the history of the card game.
It's like Bandai trolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
genuinely
Bandai's
the
actually
idea for
trolling.
this list.
Great
was
hit
me
on the card itself.
we had Melga at full power for a
Yeah.
year. A year, dude. It was just the Japanese players had been screaming about Melga for a year, Grandis for a year, and they printed Black War Greymon, and he was like, "Hey, y'all, I beat Melga."
The
And it was like Japanese players had BT9 for a year by that point.
Yeah, but remember, where Greymon Promo was banned because it wasn't available in Singapore and
Sorry,
shit. They got it.
I
Asia likes Melga because it wasn't ruining their formats. It's like a really weird dichotomy of like, we hate it because we had it at full power, and they're like, oh, Melga's so cool. I love when he does the thing. It's like, yeah, that's because it's only doing one check when it unsuspends 4 times.
Yep. But
yeah, they have to play Melga without the promo.
Yeah, my point being that like the remaining BT9 OTK stuff had been around for a year in Japan by that point, and they printed a card that countered the unsuspend OTK Nightmare decks in Black War Greymon X, and then they just killed the counter and left the. So we basically went from a format where like the BT11 stuff was OP and oppressive, and then they took us back out of that in this ban. It was
that was
so
because
stupid.
the rest of BT11 was so underpowered, right? It was like,
but like Drew, like when BT11, like Tyrannomon was a real deck for like a month because it beat Black War Greymon.
well, any green deck that put that guy sideways, right?
Yeah, but that was like sure. But that's my point. Is it's like we had a real distinct format, and then it was gone, and we went back to OTK.
Yeah.
Yeah, BT9.
The ban, it was an objectively bad ban list because they didn't hit
one
more.
Card. It's one card.
Yes, I agree. Banner was strong.
Admittedly, the card needed to go.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
it was such a tone deaf ban.
We'd been begging for them to throw most of these decks out.
Yeah, genuinely, the whole idea for this video was like I was in the shower and then I remembered Greymon X antibody and I was in a fit of rage.
I'm so glad that we have on the bottom of the screen like ban list, tier list, because if it was like that we were like Bandai is trolling because they banned that card, like we would be crucified.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no.
Like I just saw like the out of context screenshot in my head for a second there and freaked.
Next ban list.
Next ban list was November 11th, 2022. The restricted cards in this set were BT7-0107 Calling from the Darkness, BT9-099 Sunrise Buster, BT7-064 Duru Greymon, BT10-009 Shotmon X4. I think this ban list is lit. Yeah. This was the first time they ever hit a card fast enough, in my opinion.
Yes,
Cross-4 got sent to hell. They microwaved him.
They had that card. So this was like EX3 releasing that this ban was into effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were allowed Crossheart.
Crossheart had been out for like a week before this card.
It was like a month. You were allowed like a month of full power Crossheart, and then it got shot before EX3.
Yeah, which is sick. It's like that. We just finished praising the Apocaly ban list for doing the same thing.
I think this ban list is like weird because like Crossheart now like plays completely different to Crossheart back then. Like Crossheart back then had to like sack a little bit, right? Like Sunrise Buster, they played it because they played Kyrie, they played Taiki, and it was just like
they played the security.
They also played the one. They also played Sec plus 1 tie.
So
like Sunrise Buster. Yeah, Sunrise Buster is like a very overpowered card, but back then it was overpowered because of Crossheart. Like
yeah, and then we didn't even know Shine was coming.
Yeah, Shine was coming. Yellow Vaccine.
Yeah.
So that is very good. They were quicker to kill Alpha than all the other decks, but I guess like Alpha was just like the best OTK deck out of all of those.
I think it's because it also had protection as well.
Yeah, protection and like.
Yeah, Calling was an interesting one as well.
I just had a thought. And now that we're doing this in the context, I guarantee you when did this come out? November 11th, 2022. This was like
EX3 was legal.
But this was right when they were writing Seekers. Like they were printing Dorumon support in a new short story. Like
that is a very interesting thing to think. Yeah.
And then Calling, Lamau, this is one of the most broken cards of all time.
Calling was an interesting one. I think it was when I was just considering switching to purple, and I was like, wait, no, BT9. I didn't start playing purple till then, so I was like, oh, it's whatever.
This was like BT10 just before X3. So what purple decks were good back then?
Wasn't this because of Lilith Loop?
Yeah, Lilith Loop.
No, Lilith was more Mega Digimon Fusion and Eyesmon. What was Calling for?
Calling, it was it called unintended various loops, so I guess that
was Minerva Loop.
Oh, and also the werewolf mode stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
the
it was
Cerberus, yeah.
Yes, the Cerberus stuff. I think so.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know.
Yeah, they still found a way around it, didn't they?
Yeah, they used the 4
Hold
cost
on.
options. They were only printing 5
I can tell you.
instead of...
I can tell you. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I'm going to card meta right now to look
the
at
loop
that
was
format.
just harder to pull off.
It was more awkward, but it wasn't that bad. It's just
Let
you
me
only
find-
had 4 of them instead of
Let me
having
find
8
a.
cards that did it. And also it was a 4 or 5 cost option. It's like Back from the Dead or something.
Wow, yeah, purple really is just like, it's just mill and sorry, it's just loop and like occasional.
Wait, maybe a loop wasn't.
Like Biel's Lilith was here, and that had like a loop out plan.
We're looking at
Digimon-
BT9 here.
A
No,
Creepymon
EX
Turbo Pile.
EX3. Let me check BTO. No, sorry.
BT10 EX3.
There wasn't.
Yeah, dude, I'm seeing a lot of like Lilithmon Merva, purple Lilith Merva loop.
Yes, yes. So this was BT10. Yes. I literally went to watch a BT10 like tier list video, and Minerva was like tier 1. Well, projected tier 1 because of the loop, but like the deck was so high ceiling that like you needed to make it look overpowered. You
Yeah.
have to be very good at the deck during BT10.
The store champs I went to, like the 2 Mervas I went up against, actually literally killed themselves.
Yeah, the deck was like really
And the
complicated.
loop, they're like, oh well, I've messed with loop, I've lost. I'm like, cool, swing for game.
Yes, calling was because of the loop. Because in
Yeah.
BT10 it was like loop, Jesmon, Melga, Crossheart, Blue Flare, Blackroar, Greymon. Those are like the decks.
Yeah, I mean, calling is also just like one of those cards. They're like, it's
Yes.
just one of the times that they were like restricted design space or whatever.
Something like that.
Yes.
It was a BT7 card, so
It
it's like,
was
you know, the whole
hard
set.
to
Various
bring-
endless loops and unintended play styles. Like they
Yeah.
were probably in the middle of printing like the next year of support. Like they couldn't have made Beelzemon with that deck of 4. Like the
Yeah.
advanced starter deck was getting released.
Rivals requires an elaborate setup in order to let you bring back that
One card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas this was the fact that also that it's not like Deathclaw where it's delete a Digimon to do this, meaning it,
Yeah,
you could
it's a
be
full stop instead.
full cleared and go boop, hatch an egg, get my pieces back, play the game.
Yeah, it's very good. These cards are crazy, and I think for the first time ever they established that they will slam the hammer on something that is wicked out of line.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah,
care
like
that it's
Crossfire.
new.
Like, you
Cross
could,
4 was like almost killed the game. I think it was the first time that like the game almost died because of it.
yeah, for real.
Yeah, it was
Crossfire
like-
Alphamon beat EX3 format was like one of the worst I'd ever seen the Eastern format players feel about a game.
The fact that it was BT9, it was like BT9 into Crossfire was just like, oh, this game is like on death's door unless something's done. Like, there were the people that obviously mad. I think if we put it in Amazing, it has to go behind the Apocaly.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I
Apocaly,
agree.
they were like, these cards are getting hit. Oh, by the way, these cards are getting released. Whereas this
Yeah.
was just like, oh yeah, buy BT10. And they're just
Also,
like,
first secret, first SR,
They
like
know-
everything about the most recent one is incredible.
I think it was also like people like, oh, they're not gonna ban it straight away, like the week of like us getting it, but it was like, I'm gonna get my pre-orders, I've spent my money, and they banned the card that I wanted to play. So I think people were a lot more mad about it because they didn't have
Yeah.
the knowledge going in. For BT15, only store owners got shagged by the ban list.
Yep. So after
That's
this
fair.
one,
After this one is August
BT8?
1st, 2022. This is the ban list
Amazing.
where they added
Perfect
BT7 JetSilphy and BT7 Tommy Himi.
and reinforce, right?
No, reinforces an earlier ban
Oh,
list.
it was
So
the
it was just
Jesmon
these
one.
2 cards.
Yeah, yeah.
This is JetSilphymon and Tommy Himi.
The death is BT8.
I'm trying to put my personal opinions aside here, and I look at this for what it did to the card game. I actually think this is kind of a mid-ban list for the health of the game.
No, I think it's an amazing ban list with Health of the Game. This was the first Western-specific ban list, because if you remember...
Oh, we got this one
Oh
first.
shoot, you're
this
right.
Oh,
this
yeah.
ban list
I had
happened
forgotten that.
because the
Uh,
3 finals in a row
Gabubond.
in NA. No, it was 3
Gabubond and stuff.
It was 3 finals in NA were blue hybrid mirrors, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, people aren't buying products."
Mhm.
And you know, Bandai, they're like, "Please buy product,
Yep,
please buy
For sure.
product."
I agree. This Venus was good. Like,
I think this
Yellow,
was
with,
incredible.
they were about to print Venusmon too, like JetSilphymon had to go.
yeah,
Oh
they
my
have to go.
goodness.
Okay, you know what? I had forgotten that I will give you that. It was definitely Western format first, and for the first time ever, that mattered a lot. So
Yep.
I will
Yeah,
give you that.
it was
I
the
just-
first time where they were like, "Oh, okay, they're actually paying attention to our results," because Japan wasn't doing anything with it. They were like, "Oh, we're playing our new stuff," and it's like, no, they,
Japan, I think that's not. Well, you're right because English release, but by this point, Japan had BT9 for a while, and we knew what we were getting into. August 2022, we had Alphamon raging over there for a while.
You know, like Grandis and stuff.
Yeah, it's Grandis was like that was about when Grandis started winning. Like that was when people figured out the like Digiburst support list and was like, do this, win game.
Yeah, I just think it was really pivotal for just being one of the first times where they, because like we all talk about like, oh, Magnet Angemon's never gonna get banned because Second doesn't do anything in the East, and it was like, oh, blue hybrid, yellow hybrid might not, and then it was winning like 3 formats later than it should have been. And it's like, okay,
yep,
please.
Yeah, big emphasis on the later thing because they really do like they talk about like this has been in the game longer than anticipated. Like that was one of the first times they really nailed it like that.
Mm-hmm. What's the next ban list?
The next ban list was February 25th, 2022. This features MDF, Mega Digimon Fusion BT5/109 Mega Digimon Fusion, and restricted to 1 BT6 100 Reinforcing Memory Boost EX1 068 Ice Wall. This is a hell of a ban list.
Is this not the JetSilphy? No, this is still not the JetSilphy one.
I think I separated these accidentally because I thought MDF.
Wait, when did JetSilphy get banned?
JetSilphy was the first one of the first.
JetSilphy got banned with Eyesmon.
Yeah, it's at the bottom.
He's part of the first ban list, but he was the staggered release.
Been in jail for a
yes,
very long time.
He was BT8.
So JetSilphy's support had been on the ban list for like a full format before it went live.
I'm so confused. I thought.
So the ban list got announced and went into effect April 1st, 2021, but as of BT8 release, it got reapplied with 2 new cards.
Yes.
So the same ban list had 2 start dates, which is why it's a weird ban list.
Yeah. So I accidentally put MDF and Reinforce in separate ones because I didn't. I think it's because one of them is banned and one of them is restricted, so I saw the blue text and like separated them. So I'm also quite happy to talk about MDF, also because everyone bitches in my shorts that restricted and banned are not the same thing when they're on the same fucking page. We can talk about MDF actually being at 0.
Thank
I mean,
God.
it's the first ban card.
Yeah, it's very important. I think it's the second best ban list in the game's history because it has a banned card.
Yes.
Fair. Okay. So we just talking about the entire ban list, and what do we think about MD? I mean, MDF like had to go. Like it's
I think the way you have it right there is correct.
It's like MDF had to go, and then like Ice Wall was super impressive in multiples because it was also part of like.
Oh my God!
Remember? Y'all remember?
It was Gabubon. It was like Gabubon with Ice Wall and Yellow Hybrid with Reinforced Memory Boost. That's what it was. In Japan, they got Ice Wall and Reinforcing Memory Boost hit. We also got JetSilphy and Tommy on top of that.
Yes.
That's why these decks like actually died for us.
Do you think that an Ice Wall retrain without the security effect could come back?
No, God, no.
They tried with Poison Pounder.
There's forced combat now, dude. There's no way.
Yeah, no.
Think about what we were just talking about like writing Ludamon.
Blue-black.
Yeah, nice Blast Evolve strategy, dude. I'm gonna take 2 and then Blast Evo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a good bet. Like these cards are just like I don't need to talk about Ice Wall for ad revenue, you know.
The bottom half of the these people are already paying, brother. We could say whatever we want here. They're already with it. The bottom half of this ban list is some of the disgustingest, most horrible cards the card game has ever had. Like MDF is evil; it should never have been printed. Reinforce should be at 0. Ice Wall should be. I mean, almost all of these cards should be at 0. If I'm honest with you.
Reinforce still the only memory boost to print 3.
It's so gross.
Yep.
I hate that card so much.
And to the point, I keep thinking Blazing Memory Boost does 3.
Blazing Memory Boost.
Blazing Memory Boost is
It's 5 technically. It's that mem setter plus 2 memory. That's basically 5 memory.
Yeah.
I think Blazing Memory Boost is way worse. Way worse.
It's gotten away with it for a long time. Frustrating. We didn't point it out. We started this before we started recording this piece of content, but the Greymon X ban list was released on April 1st, which was like, it's a joke. It's an April Fool's Day ban list. So too is the ban list we're going to talk about next, which was April 1st, 2021. This ban list is hated, dude. People get mad about this one. This was the staggered ban. This is the staggered ban list. So they shot just green in the head. Just green.
Okay. For context, this is the first ban list.
Yeah, and then when they were like, and whenever you guys get BT8, 2 more cards get banned.
Wait, no.
Yes, scroll down, Andrew.
Yeah. So it's scroll
Okay,
down. then
these are two
effect-
separate ban lists, but
No. But it was the same ban list release.
wasn't.
Yeah, no,
100% it was.
It was the first.
are you
ban list.
trolling?
This is the first ban list, and it took it was like a staggered release.
No. This one is April 1st, 2021. Scroll down to...
And then it's effective at the time of BT8 release in your region, because this was back before
No,
they did global.
no. I've played through... You guys are misunderstanding, like, effective BT release on your region, that was, like, when BT8 got released. That's why, like, BT8 was a transformative set, because it hit Yellow Hybrid, Blue Hybrid, and it hit JetSilphy.
But BT8 came out after that first set above it.
No, it's basically like the Argomon ban list. This was the first ban list that we got. We got this ban list when the card game, like when we got 1.5. These two cards were the first two cards that got put on the ban list during 1.5. There's a 3-week period where Sarismon is at full power, and then it goes into effect.
On April 1st, 2021?
I think that is wrong.
Okay, I'll have to look at that in just a sec. But
Hold on, let me...
I think this is when this went into effect on their website.
No. That may be on the website, but hold on.
Oh, I bet you if we check... Hang on a sec. I'm going to check HBD's wiki page, because it'll have its status posted there. But regardless, they posted it as the same thing, and they staggered it, so...
Hold on.
So, y'all, if you're enjoying this bonus content, I think you guys should tell your next closest DigimonTCG friends from your local scene. Like, you know who they are. You know, like, you got this guy who has a couple too many alt arts in his, like, 4th favorite deck. Tell him that instead of buying an alt art, subscribe and be a channel member to youtube.com/KnTElixar. Guy's got the cash spare, doesn't really need to spend 200 British pounds on an alt EX6 Mirai, could probably give up $5 a month for some content. So if you're enjoying this content, tell your rich friends about us.
Housecat says hi as well.
Hold on.
Heck yeah. Behind the scenes content. We pulled the curtain behind the recording setup. How funny it would be if, like, and we're also all in the same room and this is a fake setup.
Just like 4 dividers between us.
Dude, it would be... We joked about doing that for a while. This is boring podcast context. But we joked about doing, like, an episode as, like, an attempt to do it in person because there is studio space we had access to. I was like, that's so funny, but, like, the yelling over each other when somebody says something about a deck we don't all like is going to be unbelievable. Start a podcast with your friend, y'all. He's on a hunt. Bro is
I am on a
finding
hunt.
it.
Right. Should we treat them
I
as
agree
separate?
with you that the card was probably out of play first, but the actual structure of the ban list release was probably different.
Well, either way, on the tier list, like, I have them separate anyway. I've got the HBD lot and I've got the Eyesmon and thing, and then we can talk about the people that broke out of jail.
Okay, I think the green hits are amazing.
Yes, okay. So I'm finding a video where in 2020, people were talking about, like, broken green deck and restriction list analysis. Like,
wait, but we didn't have the card game in English in 2020. The BT version 1.0
Sorry.
released in the West
yes,
in January 2021.
Yes, that is correct. It's just called Digimon Card 2020 because that's when it released in
Japan. Yeah,
Japan.
it came out November.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. I don't know. But it came out in English in 2021. There was a pre-release technically in December or something.
Hold on, because if I go find a Hwang Zero tier list video where it's like from 3 years ago and it's like Digimon Competitive 1.5,
Yeah.
the ban list starts off with Sarismon as like A tier frontrunner of the format.
Yeah.
And then okay, I'm trying to skip through it and it's still really, really good. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I remember this. Okay.
Oh, I also made a mistake as well. Technically, I said the card game wasn't available in English until 2021. The booster sets were not. The structure decks were available in English in 2020.
Right.
So, just for the sake of being here, I know most of the channel members are probably not going to come and be like, actually, shithead. But I know, y'all. The structure decks didn't have any banned cards. did
Okay,
they?
okay. I got it. So, the ban list for us in green, for us, like, remember that Japan was like significantly ahead of us.
Yeah.
for Digimon.
Yeah, for a long time.
For a long time, they're like very much ahead of us, right? So, I'm looking at a list that has Refleezemon and Granku Promo and Chaosmon, and this was the green OTK back then, right?
Yeah.
So Refleezemon is from like what, set 5?
Yeah, really early Digimon.
Can
Like
somebody-
before, I think it's yeah. Give me a sec. I'm pretty sure it's BT5 because it's the Digiburst support with the old Yoshino.
This one, yeah.
Refleezemon is BT5, yes. And
Yeah.
in this video, they're doing a deck profile, and HPD was at 3. So,
Jeez.
so in Japan, they got the ban list during BT5. When we got it, the cards, like, when we got the card game in 1.5 release, the cards were hit ahead of time.
Sure.
But they were like, okay, you're gonna get like 3 weeks with Ceresmon at like full power, and then the list goes into effect. So
Right.
when we started like set 1.5, HPD was already at 1, I'm pretty sure. And so was Argo level 5. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, if the release schedule is to be believed, the give me a sec. I can April 1st, 2021, right? So the set that came out before April 1st, 2021 was BT 1.5. So by the time BT 4 came out in the West, HBD was banned.
Right.
Does that sound right, Marcio?
Yes, we basically got like the
You basically would have played 1 and 1.5 with HBD,
And
and then it would have
yes.
been banned. Yeah.
And then like halfway into 1.5, or maybe less than halfway, HPD then gets banned alongside Argo.
Yeah,
Right.
and then BT.
Because look at April. Let me look up BT 1.5 release date.
It came out March 2021,
And this ban list went into effect April 1st.
and
Yes.
BT 4 came out in June.
So like 2 weeks before it got hit.
Yeah, 2 weeks after it got hit.
Okay. So
That's the context of this ban list.
the green cards.
But Japan had full power green up until BT5.
Right.
I maintain the fact that this is a good ban list despite the scuffed rollout
Yes.
for this ban list.
Yes,
But
of course.
I think if it's super scuffed rollout, then
It's a good ban list because it was the first ban list. It was basically Bandai telling us that this game is going to have ban lists, as opposed to just letting the game naturally power creep itself.
this is the other problem. I said I wanted to go backwards to forwards for the context here because, like, I'm thinking of, like, it mattered that we knew about the Apocaly stuff before that set came out. But now, the consequence of that is I'm thinking about every green deck in the history of Digimon and how broken it would have been if it had HBD.
Yeah.
Well,
And I'm like-
up until then, like the only green decks you had to, the only green decks you played were, 1.0 didn't really matter because it was like Dynamon. Then you had Ceresmon, and Ceresmon was like insane for the longest time because of HPD and thingy. And then it was like Green OTK was the other good green deck.
Yeah, I get what you. Is there really nothing else? Nothing else that HBD would have made a difference in?
Well, what's really funny
Green
as
Omni.
well is we're gonna have the there's that unrestricted tournament that OPE are throwing.
Yes, shout
Rock
out.
up with Bloom on multiple HPDs.
I don't think Bloom is as good as all the other decks.
No, God, no. I wouldn't bring Bloom to the no ban list format. I mean, unless somebody's seeing something I'm missing, I would be bringing, like,
Come on.
or like Lilith Loop. Like MDF at 4 is insane.
It'll be interesting 'cause there was a Japan tournament that did it, but not everyone
Marcio, I think
actually-
Shivamon would have been pretty real with HPD with Shivamon. I think that would have been pretty real.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Good ban. Where did we put it in Amazing?
Yeah, I'm happy to. Where on Amazing? Because I feel like Amazing is kind of ordered. I feel like all of
Just-
these are kind of ordered.
I think just below MDF.
Just below
Alright.
MDF.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
All right.
Perfect.
I feel like some of these have to get. I don't think like some analysts are not like as impactful as other ones.
Maybe we should have a 5th tier that's like above mid.
No, I just think like
I think that okay, but it's complicated, right? Because Shotmon Cross 4 was the first time they hit something in time, so that matters. The English exclusive or the English focused ban list on the hybrids was really good because it said that they were going to help the West. Reinforce is an evil card. MDF is the first ban. HPD is the first ban list. Like,
I guess you can talk about like scatter mode, because like so the context for scatter mode is that like it came out alongside JetSilphy BT6, and that was basically like the Eyesmon. Eyesmon was also future proof. I think you got Eyesmon like for like a few weeks after BT7 released, and it was this was them basically saying we want JetSilphy to stop OTKing, and we don't want the purple aggro deck to exist.
Yeah, we don't want Chimeramon to be in purple aggro.
Oh,
because then you pitch off scatter mode and make a free Chimeramon.
Well, the Eyesmon was for a little bit later.
Well, Eyesmon.
No, this ban list is effective BT8.
Oh, effective BT8. Yeah.
Both of these cards got hit because of the importance of Chimeramon in their archetypes, and JetSilphy being good too for too long.
Yes. Chimeramon with Savior Huck. Ooh.
Yeah, Chimeramon with BT8 Savior Huck and the sisters. Evil deck.
Go on, JetSilphy player, defend yourself.
Nah, I can't defend that. For the time it got banned, because like BT8 just didn't have blockers. Nobody could fucking stop the deck. There's a genuine lack of blockers in everybody's deck on every archetype.
Yeah.
Because of the hybrids.
Yeah, just could not be stopped.
Like Black War Greymon was the biggest defensive deck, maybe Machine, and JetSilphy would run over those.
Yes. They'd be like, go on, stop me.
Yeah, you'd have like Magnet as well, draw one block and Armor Purge, and then lol.
Yeah, just does not matter. And then the Eyesmon stuff was necessary. I mean, they later hit
on HPD, but I knew the HPD Eyesmon. What is it called? Argomon thing was weird.
I just know that the thing about the rollout ban list got a lot of flack. Like, we've talked about it enough already, but like the fact that they were like, these are good hits, but it was a shitty ban list. Like, I think we might have to reassess some of that.
People were upset that we got the hits way earlier than Japan.
Yes, that's true.
Because people were like, oh, I can't play this deck with HPD. Like, I can't play like whatever with HPD. Because they hit it ahead of time.
Man, thank God they hit MDF. I keep thinking about that card now. What an awful card. Why does it cost 0? Why does it do anything? Ugh.
Where are we putting this? The last banning or restricting?
I think it's the bottom of mid, but it's not as bad as they tried. Oh, actually, can I throw you a bone here?
Go on.
Can I throw you a bone here? I would like to make a suggestion to the group that we move the JetSilphy icon slot to They Tried, because it is important that we got the English ban, but it only happened as an oopsie because they let that format go on, and then the finals were all blue hybrids and yellow hybrids.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think as the cards were banned and the importance of it, you're right that they were influential, but it was oh man, we goofed up.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see that.
And then what is Grandis on here for?
These are just
Grandis
like
is a
double
mistake.
ups.
I couldn't delete. That was supposed to be Gran Kuago instead of the Impmon. I just put the Impmon because I was not downloading Gran Kuago, and then I picked the wrong Veemon again. So ignore this. Our last one is the unbanning of the War Criminal.
Oh, these are just the two unbans.
So the two unbans.
Yes.
I think it's influential at the very. I think actually, can I make a case for the top of influential? Because it's the precedent that they will unban something.
Yes, exactly. I agree.
True.
Like the threat that like one day the card game could get to a state where such that like Ice Wall could come back is horrifying.
Oh, I want to see like.
So it's influential, but I almost kind of want to put it next to the choice restriction, in the same way that like the choice restriction is good as a showing that they're willing to like adjust how they're banning things, but it didn't do much.
Yeah, like it didn't change anything. People played JetSilphy again. Didn't do shit.
JetSilphy OTK is
you put JetSilphy, didn't you?
Like, GX Turbo is still better, and they're not always on it. And Tommy's not
like,
doing anything.
We don't want sister ones in our hands anymore, so we're just still playing the other saviors. We want to get them from trash.
Thank God nobody plays that deck. I was thinking about that before. I mean, the blue hybrid was weird because there were placements for blue hybrid with the Gomamon stuff. Like, it did see top cuts. But, like, part of the thing that made that deck bad is, like, oh God, I'm saying this out loud and I'm just realizing, like, part of why it was bad is because why would you play a blue deck that wasn't the Garurumon engine? That was the problem. And if that's going now, like, what does that kind of put us in? Do you guys think blue hybrid could kind of be real in BT15?
I think
like Azulongmon Ace too?
I think it could be real. When we were talking about blue flare again for the upteenth time in the fanboy Discord, I was like, Blue flare, blue flare can die, but blue hybrid.
Well,
When
it's
Kai
what I'll
comes
say.
back, people will know.
What I'll say is that blue flare players just need a reason to play blue flare. They don't care about how good or bad the deck is, as long as they have a reason to play blue flare. They'll be like, ah, good enough. I'll lock this.
Also, they have Dianamon now.
Yeah, man, I'm a little worried about Tommy-Himi now that we've thought about this. This was not a fun experiment anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just
blue
think
hybrid with Diana is crazy.
I think maybe we do bottom of influential because right now everyone's asleep and they're not abusing.
I'm so worried.
They're not
This is
abusing.
also a paid video, so like.
Well, it's 10 to midnight here as we're recording this, and I am not comfy anymore.
I gotta go get food.
Yeah, I'm upset with myself now. I don't want to play against. Oh, dude, and they'll have Dianamon strip everything and Azulongmon Ace for the
Different
rush.
video. This is for the BT15 tier list. We'll talk about BT15.
Yeah, I think we put Tommy at the bottom of influential because it was important. It probably could maybe even be top of mid, but to future-proof ourselves when this eventually goes public and Dianamon's winning everything.
The clip we make out of this is gonna be crazy. You'll put like a fucking transparent layer of like a war flashback over my face. That's horrible. Damn, dude.
Yeah,
Wow,
good
this
job.
sure is an assortment ranking of tier lists from the Digimon card game. Well done, guys.
Yeah, so to recap, Apocaly ban list, very good. MDF getting banned, fantastic. HBD needed to go. In influential, we've got-
HBD was the first ban list.
Yeah. Influential, we've got the rest of the MDF ban list was very, very good. It did a whole lot, but it's not the same thing as this card is gone. Shaman Cross 4 was on time. Maybe they could have warned people about it a little bit better, otherwise maybe it'd be higher. Tommy-Himi getting unbanned is there as a future proof. Maybe could have been in mid because nobody's done anything with it. Bills is mid. Choice Restrict is mid. GeoGrey was mid. Eyesmon hit was mid. They tried for the JetSilphy. As much as it was important for what it showed us, the actual list is mid. And what the fuck were they smoking for the Greymon X? Yeah. Thanks for joining me, boys. Thanks for, if you made it this far, then awesome. Thanks for paying for it, and thanks for sticking around. And when this comes public, consider getting the membership so you can watch it on time with the rest of us. Maybe this video is irrelevant by the time you guys are watching it.
I was serious about telling your rich friend at locals to be a channel member. You should do it.
It'd be fun. But yeah, thanks as well for joining us, Saf. We've held you hostage for several hours.
That's all good.
This is the
more than
price
happy
you
to
get.
do this.
Yeah, this is what you get for your second massive UK event dub. Is you have to hang out with us on Discord for 4 hours straight.
That's a privilege.
Oh, buddy.
All right,
He'll never
okay.
be on the show again. He hates us.
Peace,
Okay,
y'all.
bye. Thank you.
Goodbye.